to my channel. Welcome to another day of Vlogmas. Today, I thought it would be fun to share some of my favorite oils for skin. The ones that I just love using on my skin, and that when I am struggling with something with my skin, hello spots that you may or may not be able to notice. These are my go-tos. And I also kind of wanted to explain a little bit about how I use them for that. So first, I wanted to go through the oils that I love, and then I'll kind of explain how I use them. My number one go-to that is honestly one of my biggest testimonies with oils is tea tree oil. Tea tree is not one that everybody's like, oh my gosh, I love it so much, it smells so good. At least not usually. So it is a smell you have to get used to. It's kind of a spicy oil, so this is not one I would put on undiluted, and I'll show you how I dilute them in a second, but it is one that is like magic for me. Honestly, it's one that actually, without even really knowing or realizing, was the first oil I ever used in my life, and it was when I was a little kid. I have always struggled with skin problems with my hands, and my whole life, ever since I was really, really little. And so my mom was constantly looking for stuff to try to help me. And we tried this. This was literally the only thing that has ever really, truly helped me. And that's why I love it so much. I never let myself run out. In fact, I need to order more to make sure I don't. It's amazing for skin. Amazing for skin. I'll talk about how I dilute it in a minute, but this is not one I would put on my skin on my own, particularly if you've never used it before. So that's tea tree oil. And then the next one I like to talk about is actually one that is similar to tea tree oil. It's a little less strong, but it is still kind of spicy. It's a very similar smell. I remember the first time I smelled it, I'd heard that this was similar to tea tree, but until I smelled it, I didn't realize how close to it was, because it really does smell very, very similar. And that's Melrose. And so Melrose is one that I would use almost as a substitute if I didn't have tea tree oil. I would use the exact same way. Yeah. So Melrose, similar to tea tree, is another great one for skin. The next one up, you guys know it is not an oils video if Brooke does not talk about this one, lavender. Is anybody surprised? Probably not. So lavender is not actually one I talk about for skin very much though. And it is a really great one for skin. I talk about my experiences with it with emotion supporting, but skin is, lavender is kind of the Swiss Army knife of oils. So there's a lot of different ways you can use lavender and a lot of different reasons you might grab lavender. And skin is one of them. It's just a really great soothing oil for your skin. So when something happens that you need soothing, lavender is an amazing, amazing one. And it does, it smells like the lavender plant. So you're also getting that benefit of it just smelling really good. So lavender is not one typically I talk about the skin benefits of very much, but it is a great one for skin. It's very soothing and calming to the skin and very supportive of the skin. So lavender is another great one. The next two are ones that I specifically use in my facial skincare routine. I also diffuse both of these a lot, but they're really great for skin. So the first one is grapefruit. Grapefruit is one that actually is really great as a toner for your skin, using it along with your toner, or in a toner DIY recipe. It's really, really great as like the final step to your skincare routine. And skin loves it. It is amazing. Now, you do always want to be careful about citrus oils in the sun. Typically, we talk about that in connection to like lemon and lime oil, but you also just, any citrus oil, you want to be cautious. So making sure you're keeping aware of that as you're using it on your skin before potentially going out into the sun. So grapefruit is a great option as well. And then my very favorite to put on my skin, specifically to put on my face, I did a whole challenge with it that was really fun. That is frankincense. So frankincense is another one I talk a lot about for like grounding and emotion supporting and everything. And it's amazing for that as well. It's great at a lot of things, but it's also really, really amazing on your skin. And particularly, I use it in my moisturizer and put it on my face. I actually did a whole 30 days a couple years ago of like the month of April, I think, doing frankincense every day on my face. I did a challenge with it and it was really fun. The results were awesome. My skin felt so good and it was amazing. So frankincense is just always one I keep on hand and always one that I love adding to my moisturizer. And now I want to talk about how I use them on my skin, because there's a couple of these that I mentioned you don't want to, particularly the spicier oils, use them directly on your skin undiluted. Now, you're gonna hear a lot of people's different ways of using oils. When you're getting started or when you are using an oil that's new to you or just in general, I always recommend diluting. There are some oils that I don't feel the need to, particularly lavender, but that's again after I've seen how it reacts with my skin. That was absolutely after a while of having experience using lavender on my skin and knowing how it would react and everything. So starting out and just in general, unless there's some reason not to, I always dilute. And there's particular oils that I would never use undiluted on my skin. So I dilute them in two different ways. Well, three, but two I'm going to talk about in this video. The third is just in like fractionated coconut oil in a roller bottle. But we're not going to talk about that because we're talking about like applying it to your skin. And these are the most common ways I do that. So here's what I do. So for the oils that I'm not putting on my face, right? Like I would not do this on my face because it'd be too heavy. But for the oils like particularly tea tree or Melrose, when I'm putting it on my hands, I'll take a hand lotion I really like. I love this lavender one. And I will, just in how I do it, I'll show you guys. I put a little bit in the palm of my hand of the lotion, and then I'll do a drop or two of oil. And then I rub them together like that, so it mixes, and I rub it around like that. So I don't put it by itself directly. You can also mix it into the lotion just in the bottle or outside of it before putting it on your hands, mixing it ahead of time. This is just my quick and easy way of doing that for mine is I'll just mix it in the palm of my hand basically and then apply it all over my hands. So that's how I do those oils. That's how I do that for my hands or anywhere else besides my face. So now we'll talk about applying it for your face during your skincare routine. So the biggest one that I do with this is frankincense. It's the most common one I grab for that. The way I do that is very similar to how I use the lotion, but I do it with my moisturizer. So I'll use my face moisturizer since it is face moisturizer and not too heavy to use on my face. And I will put a pump of it in my hand and then a drop or two of the oil on top. mix it, and then rub it on my face. And that works great. You can also, again, mix it in the bottle instead, or make a little container of the moisturizer and then mix the oil in that and use it out of the container. However you want to mix it is fine. That's just kind of how I do it. And it works. It's quick, easy. I really love using these oils that way. It is so amazing. My skin feels so good when I'm consistent with these. And so I thought I'd share. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helped you. If you use oils also and you have your favorites for your skincare routine, I would love to hear them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed and have notifications on. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.